Thank you guys for joining us.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our Saturday Spotlight.
I am Glenetta Heyman.
And I'm Liza Esqueda.
And we are your business and trademark BFFs. We have a very, very special guest today. And I will allow Liza to introduce her.
Hi, so we just introduced ourselves, Liza and Glenetta, and today we have a very special guest. We have Kristen Corey, and she has a unique clientele, very unique, very niche business that we want to get to know about a little bit more. So we're very eager to have her here. Kristen, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your background. How about we start with you as a person? Tell us a little bit about Kristen.
Yeah, so I'm currently living in San Antonio, Texas, but I'm originally from Irvine, California. My husband's in the military, so all you military spouses out there. But my formal education is in accounting. So I have my master's in accounting. I did government auditing. I worked at a CPA firm, all that stuff. But after doing that for a while, my husband got the opportunity to move abroad. So I joined him. We went to France for a couple years. So I was quick to, I don't want to say quit my job, but I was excited to move abroad. And while living abroad, I was kind of looking at my job options. My visa didn't allow me to work. I didn't speak French. So I had very few options when it came to what I could do during the day. Accounting was something that I considered, but we were traveling a lot. And when you consider security, with dealing with people's books and things like that and traveling, it wasn't really a viable option. So I got into marketing. It was something I was thinking about and considering. It was always kind of appealing to me. And I started with blog writing and doing social media posts for people on Upwork. If you've done any freelance work, you've heard of Upwork. And that's how I really got my start. I did it for tech companies, for fashion apps, real estate agents, kind of anyone that was willing to pay me. I was like, hey, I'll figure it out. And I did that for a while and I got pretty good at it. But after living in France for a while, we came back to the States and I wanted to get back into accounting. Freelancing is not a stable career. It's, your income's high one month and the next month there's a pandemic and no one can afford you. So I wanted to get back into accounting. And when I started interviewing at all these accounting firms, they were asking me about my marketing experience and asking me if I could do accounting, but they really wanted me to do the marketing for their company. And I actually found one accounting firm that I really liked. I ended up doing both accounting and marketing for them. And I got along really well with the owners, and we decided we needed to turn this into a business because a lot of accounting and bookkeepers need this service. So we started ProAdvisor Marketing, which I am the CEO and co-owner of.
Awesome. I love
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great background story. And, small world, we're literally in the car right now driving to San Antonio, Texas. So we're heading to your neck of the woods. That's where my parents live.
Okay.
So, yeah, growing up there, I know all about military and military spouses and military life. My dad was military. Okay. We have a lot of family members down there. A lot of, growing up there was 5 bases in San Antonio. I think there's a couple less now. It's a big military town. So that is amazing. And I love how you had the pick yourself up by your bootstraps kind of attitude and decided you were going to kind of run with it and figure out what you were going to do with your time and with your life. So I think that's great. And as things do, like Glenetta always says, things fall into place. So you found a great niche with accounting and marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about who you serve. We know that you're in the accounting world. So who are you looking for right now?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, my formal education is in accounting. So when it came to who will do marketing services for, accountants were obviously the people I wanted to work with. It's who I grew up with. It's all my education. And those are the people I really understand and connect with. So if you do accounting, anything kind of under the accounting branch, I know state to state, if you're a bookkeeper, you don't feel like you can call yourself an accountant, you can. We're just going to not ignore what the state says, but you do accounting work. Accounting, bookkeeping, tax, anything kind of under that umbrella is our clientele, CPAs. And yeah, that's really kind of who we serve and the content that we create for that audience.
So just like with a lot of other businesses, accountants and accounting firms, do they do a lot of marketing on social media these days?
So they try. They really try really hard. And I think this is kind of where we found this really unique niche, is because accountants, if you've ever, talked to your own accountant, or maybe lawyers are the same way, I don't know, but we think in boxes and arrows, right? We want to know the numbers. I want evidence. I want to know exactly why this is the result, because if I do this, this, and this, I'm going to get this. And marketing is not like that at all. And so accountants try really hard to, I think, market themselves on social media. They think if I put these social media posts out, if I like all the right things and comment at this time, I'll get clients, and then it just works. But that's not how marketing works. It's a lot of trial and error. It's an art. It's not a science. And so, you're constantly trying to figure out what works for a specific audience and a client. So they are on social media. Whether most accounts I see are doing it right, that's where we come in, and they can use a little bit of guidance.
Wonderful. Yeah, I really like that you really niche down to what your expertise is and who you're familiar with. I really love that. So tell us a little bit about where they should be marketing. We as, consultants and attorneys and in different industries, we know that, our target market, may be on LinkedIn versus TikTok. So what does that look like for your clients?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's, if you're in the accounting Facebook groups, a common question is, should I be on Instagram? And it's kind of a weird, because it's like, the Instagram audience is primarily millennial women, Gen X women. So they think, is that a place for me? They need accountants. Millennials, I'm sure there's business owners in there, but you really need to take a step back and say, okay, who do I serve? Who's my niche? Who's my target audience? People don't want to have a niche because they think it limits themselves, but they really don't realize that by establishing yourself as an expert with this particular audience, people are going to notice you over the general, marketers or the general accountants that just do work for everyone. So, as far as where you should be online, it's really, who do you want to work with? And that can be really broad too. I have one client, he doesn't like product-based companies. Doing accounting for product companies is very different than doing accounting for service-based companies, and he doesn't want to touch products. And so I put him on LinkedIn, because I said, Facebook is kind of a catch-all. Everyone's on Facebook. You're going to find, your target audience and everyone else. But LinkedIn is really great for service-based companies. That's where you're going to find the high-income professional. That's where you're going to find highly educated individuals. So it really kind of depends on who do you want to work with? Who do you like coming in every day and talking to?
I like what you said about being niche down, because Glenn and I talk about that all the time. That you have to have, your specific, your client base, your avatar, who you serve. And you're right that a lot of people don't want to do that because they're scared, and they think, well, if I do that, I'm going to cut out, 99% of the rest of the population that could potentially be a client. But like we always say, not everybody's your client. So you have to really niche down and see who you want to serve, who are your people. And it really does benefit the business, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if, we kind of have a trick, if someone's very insistent that they are not going to niche down, I say, okay, well, let's say I have one client, they serve startups. A startup is not, usually it's someone that's doing funding, that sort of thing, but they've kind of positioned themselves in a way where if, I can call my business a startup, anyone can kind of call their business a startup. And because these are accountants that exclusively serve startups, they're niching down without actually niching down. And they're starting to build a commentary around their business that makes people want to work with them. So there's little tricks you can do like that. But honestly, the more niche you can get, the more people are probably going to be attracted to your business.
Right, because the client has to know who you are, right? So like if I'm an accountant and I'm looking specifically for somebody to help me with marketing, the marketing firm that says they work with accountants is going to stand out to me versus just the marketing firm, that works with everybody.
Exactly.
So when your target market reaches out to you, how do they do that? Where do they do that? Do they just go online, fill out an intake? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So typically, how our marketing, most of our success has been in Facebook groups and really networking with different individuals, talking about, okay, what have you done with your marketing that works? But usually we direct them to our website where they can, fill out a form, schedule a consultation, see our services. That's really kind of how all of our marketing works with us and our clients. We constantly try to direct people towards the website, or if you have a Facebook group, towards the Facebook group where they can get all the information and reach out if they have further questions or if they want to actually become a client.
And what's the website?
Yeah, it's ProAdvisor, ProAdvisor -marketing.com.
ProAdvisor-marketing.com.
Yeah.
Great.
So do you have clients? Do you have any limitations on who your clients are? Can they be in any state? Does that make a difference?
No, so I've had clients in Alaska and in Rhode Island, and we have one in California. So yeah, state-wise doesn't matter. Typically, the accountant is aware of legally what they can and can't call themselves. Um, because we have a background in accounting, we're also kind of able to keep them in check. I've had people come to me and say they want to call themselves a CPA firm when there's no CPA. Um, but yeah, I mean, as long as you're operating kind of within your legal right of what you can call yourself, and you're an accountant to some degree, we're willing to work with you.
That's awesome. That's another great benefit that you bring. You have that background so that you can keep them out of trouble and out of saying the wrong thing, calling themselves the wrong thing too. That's great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's really kind of our selling point is when we're doing content creation, we're writing articles or blog posts, we understand the accounting and they know that they can post this and not have to worry about if it's correct. We know it's correct. So that's always great stress to have off their shoulders.
It is, because sometimes you will hire like a marketer or social media person, and you do have to double check and you have to make sure that they understand or they didn't say something wrong because they're not in your industry. So that is one big relief off their shoulders to have you handle that.
Yeah. I mean, as we've hired contractors, we have tried hiring people on the marketing side, and they don't understand accounting. And so it's like, if we're having this issue, I know our clients are having this issue. So we have to try to find accountants that want to do marketing, just to maintain that level of quality for all of our clients.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really awesome. And I love that you've niched down. So, to all of our accountant listeners, what's one piece of advice that you can provide to them about their marketing?
Yeah. The biggest sort of mistake I see is when they go online or they're talking about their business, they're trying to turn it into an advertisement. They're constantly pitching, and a social media post it's their logo and a stock photo, and it's, hey, if you need bookkeeping or tax services for the year 2020, call us at this number. And no one is following accounts because they want to see advertisements. You pay to have advertisements off Hulu and all these other services. No one wants to be advertised to. So you really need to figure out a way to go online and build relationships. You need to figure out a way to network, and maybe just do it and actually don't mention your company. Just say, oh, I'm an accountant. If you constantly find yourself reverting to that sort of sales pitch, just try to build relationships and network. And you're going to find people are going to trust you quicker. You're going to build credibility quicker, and you're going to make more sales.
That's so accurate about building relationships. These people don't want to be sold to, like you mentioned, and it takes a while, to make that connection and want to hire somebody who feel comfortable enough to them. So building that relationship and coming across as the expert is absolutely the way to do it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and I love that, your piece of advice was essentially go build the know, like, and trust, because we talk about that all the time. Your clients have to know you, like you, and trust you. And it does take you getting in front of them, and not just a stock photo in order to get their business. So I love that. Thank you for that advice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, it's an issue within the accounting world. They aren't aware of the phrase know, like, and trust. And I imagine a lot of other business owners out there, if you're struggling with your marketing, like wondering why people aren't liking your post or engaging with you, do a little research on know, like, and trust, and know that they're not just going to come over and like your page because it's amazing and incredible. They want to actually build a relationship with you.
Right. It's all about relationships.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well said.
So you've provided us with your website. Can we look you up on any social media channels? Where are you?
Yeah, definitely. So on Instagram, it's at ProAdvisor Marketing. Pretty straightforward. For Facebook, you can join our Facebook group. Actually, it's called The Meeting Room. So it's for accountants, bookkeepers, CPAs, and if you offer any sort of supportive services to that industry, you're more than welcome to join. And yeah, that's where you can find us.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you so much for spending your time this weekend with us and providing information to our listeners. We will definitely be in touch in the future. I'm really excited just about your business and how much you've niched down. And it sounds like you're just really honing in on the target market and growing. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, I want to join you. I want to thank you as well for joining us. I really enjoyed this. You really do stand out as an expert in your field, and like we keep mentioning about niching down. I mean, that's such a great business model to have. So we really think that that's a great example.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. We're working real well for us so far.
All right.